You know, I've been doing a lot of thinking lately because of my situation. And honestly, the holidays were a lot different this year. Uh, I can honestly say that the holidays were not very exciting or joyful for me. Even though, you know, I I have a lot to be thankful for, and it's not that I'm not thankful, it's just that my current situation dictates that I am not, we're just not, in the best of mood, I guess you could say. And yesterday we had winds like 40 miles an hour, so it gave me a lot of time to think about my situation and how things are going and why I'm in the situation that I'm in. And it was really constructive, and so I feel like I should share it with you guys. I've also had a lot of other time to think because even though the holidays weren't so glamorous, I probably had one of the best New Year's I've ever had in my life, and it may not be for a reason that you think. See, I had a daughter born on January 1st, about 10 days earlier than we expected her. But as I, was there at the hospital and got to meet my daughter and be around, her for the first few days of life, you know, once again, reflecting on how precious life is and all those things, I got two really big emotions. One, I felt, first off, kind of unworthy, almost, I guess you could say, because I feel like I'd almost failed the child even before she got here. And not that I was not able to be a good dad, it's just I was bringing her into a situation that, it's like I have all this turmoil with, work and farming and all that stuff, but at the same time, at home, everything's good. And that's the nice part, The other part I felt, was joy and excitement about, having another kid. Right? My whole goal is to raise food for as many families and people as possible in my area. Like, that's what we want to do. And so, and having a family of my own is important to share that with. And I looked at my 3-year-old and I looked at my brand new baby, and it's like, okay, they are really, really good. It's really good to have them in my life, okay? And if the worst thing to happen to the farm happened, how would it affect them? And would it be that bad? And honestly, the answer is I don't think so. I really don't think that if the worst thing that happens to the farm happens, it's not a bad thing for them whatsoever. Because honestly, they probably won't even know what's happening. They're going to be well taken care of whether, I have a farm or not. And that's a good feeling. Now, don't get me wrong. The last thing that I want to happen is for me to have to sell the farm. But that's the worst thing that could happen. Really, in the grand scheme of things. And if you think about it, we have a lot of things in life that seem like a really big deal, but then at the end of the day, like, you can just cut it and you're done with it and you move on, right? And that's the deal with the farm. I could sell it, be done, move on. Don't want to, don't plan to. What we plan to do is, fix the farm. At minimum, find a partner, farm it like it is right now. At maximum, it's add some more enterprises, increase the cash flow to a 12-month cash flow, grow more food for people like you guys, and just help build a robust food system, That's the best thing that could happen. I mean, it could even go to the point where I'm farming more ground in 2025 because there's a possibility of me farming more ground, which would be awesome. Obviously, I got to get the other stuff taken care of, but it's not like a black hole that it feels like, because it definitely feels like a black hole, and that definitely seems like that's how life goes a lot of the time. It feels so bad and so down, and you go so far into a hole that you can't get out of it, but it's really not that bad. I am super blessed to have, been here on this property, been able to help these cattle grow, help the individuals that own these cattle to create a really, really high quality beef product. I mean, that's what I grew up doing. That's what we did on this farm before, I got here, or before I got here. That's what I did growing up. And so that part to me is really exciting. I feel like this is one of those videos where I've rambled and haven't really got to a point. The point of the thing is that sometimes in life you have to sit down and ask yourself, what is the worst thing that could happen? And for me, the worst thing that could happen is I have to sell the farm, right? That is the absolute worst thing that could happen. You know, it would be terrible. It would really suck. I don't want to, but in the end, I may have to sell the farm to pay the bills. On the other side of that, that's one thing. On the other side of that, there is 100 other things that could happen. And all of those include keeping the farm. I could farm the farm in the same way, or I could find a partner to farm the farm, or I could find a partner that we add other things to the farm, or I can get a loan and keep farming the farm, or I can personally figure out some way to get the farm situated, have somebody farm it for me, or do most of the work and I just do the irrigating, and then somebody goes ahead and you know, I go get a job outside of the farm. Or, you know, I could get somebody to take care of the farm, and then I sell a whole bunch of fertilizer and I take care of my debts really quickly, and I continue to help, you know, other people get better in their soil health and all those things. So there's a lot of opportunity, and it's not near as dark as it seems. Although, honestly, I haven't been feeling very good about myself. I feel like a failure a lot of times. I feel let down because it seems like, and you guys all know this feeling where you push, and yes, we make mistakes ourselves, but at the same time, you're trying really hard and it just doesn't seem to go your way. And failure is always part of anything that we do. And it seems like all I've done farming is fail. And in the grand scheme of things, it's not true. We have some really good cattle that grow really good beef. That's one thing we've done. We also have soil that's made a huge improvement in a short amount of time, not something that is commonly seen around here. We've also taken a property that was probably worth half of what it's worth now and increased its value by, you know, probably 50%, which is, or by hundreds of percent, which is pretty incredible. This place looks completely different, and on a value spectrum is worth way more now than it was when we started. So there's a lot of positives involved in all the negative. And so you got to keep pushing forward. You got to keep pushing forward. God bless. And we're going to figure out a way to keep this farm. We'll see you next time.